Okay, this week in computer science, we are doing our final project, and I'm starting with my fake whiteboard because I want to show you some things that go along with this. Is that working? There we go. Got that going. The final project works like this. The first part is a little bit of HTML and CSS coding. The second part is some game programming. And the third part is some experience design going back to Figma. Each one of those parts is going to be worth 50 points. Those are not going to go into the gradebook separately. Eventually, what will happen is that when all three of these are done, they will go into the gradebook as one assignment that is worth 150 points. It will be called Final Project or something like that. And you will be earning X amount of points out of 150. Hopefully, that X is going to equal 150. If you ever do everything, correctly and well and right, that it'll be 150 out of 150. And I will provide as much help as I can. If you get stuck on anything that you're working on, you can email me, and I will. It's not the kind of final project where you're just left alone and I'm not going to help you. I will help you as much as I can. I don't want you to fail. I'm not trying to make people fail. But what I am trying to do is say, let's see, can you do this? Now that you've had this class, can you do this? And can you do this? And can you do this? It's not like a final exam. It's more about doing stuff, making stuff. And that's the way I want it. Okay, so I think the next thing, this first part is about HTML and CSS. So there's a handout posted. Let me pull this up. There's a handout posted on Google Classroom that tells you all about it. We're going to be making a 2-page thing. We're going to pretend that you're coding for a fictional restaurant or a cafe, and you're going to have an entree page where they list their main dinners like steak and hamburger and spaghetti and fish and whatever. And you're also going to have to create a dessert page that has a list of dessert options, and everything that has to be included is on the handout. And you're also going to have to style it a little bit using the CSS page. This is going to be done in the web lab on code.org, something we're familiar with from earlier in the class. So what I'm going to do is hop over to code.org and show you what one of these looks like. Let's start on this side of it, over on the preview side where we actually see the page. So you can see mine says, welcome to Area 1027 Cafe. I made that up. You can do that too. Just make up whatever name you want to use for the restaurant. This is an H1 tag. That's what's required here. This is an H1. Then here it says entree list. That's like entree means main course. And that's an H3 tag. That's required. Got to do an H3. An H1 for the big part up here. An H3 right here. Then you have to have a list. It could be either ordered or unordered. I don't care which. It has to have 10 items on it. So these would be 10 things that could be main dishes. And you see my 10 right here. Next, there has to be a link, like here, to get to the dessert page, which you're also going to create. So if I click that link, now the dessert page is set up very similar to the entree page. So copy and paste could help you. You're going to have to make 2 pages, but if you build one of them, you could copy the code and paste it onto the other and then just make some edits. At the top, this is an H1 tag, an H1 heading. This, where it says dessert menu, that's an H3 heading. Then I have a list, and it has to have 10 items on it. And these are all dessert items. And then I have a link that goes back to the entree page, so these are connected. The link connects the 2 pages. Now the other thing that you have to do is you have to style it some. Let's make sure we're on the entree page, and let's go over and look at the code. I'm just showing you this quickly so you see what, we're reviewing what some things look like. Here's the H1 tag. Here's an H3 tag. Here is what, now mine is an unordered list because it has bullets. If you do OL instead of UL, you'd have numbers, which is okay if you want to do it that way. So here's the structure of a list. Notice that I'm just reminding you, this is review. Every list item says LI at the beginning and then bracket / LI at the end. Every list item has those things. Copy and paste if that's helpful. So here's the structure of the entire list. You'll have to do something similar to that. Here is the structure of the anchor tag, the link that connects the page together. All right, there's that. And if I switch over to the dessert page, it looks really similar. H1 tag, H3 tag, list, anchor tag. Structure's very similar, so copy and paste could help you. This is what you're going to have to make. Now when you get to the web lab, on code.org, remember there will be an index.html page provided for you. Use that as your entree page. Do not change the name of that. Use the index page to be the first page, your entree list of your little project that you're doing today. To add the second page, to add the desserts page, you're going to have to come up here to add a page. You do add HTML. Right there. Then you can rename, if you click on it, it'll say new-1.html, and you can rename it if you would like to rename it. I think that's a good idea, to rename your page. So to make the second page, you're going to use the Add HTML button, and then you can rename it if you need to. And then you'd be able to go to work on all the coding, copying and pasting, all that kind of thing. Now, the final thing on this is that there has to be some styling, and I'm not going to be super picky about it, but there has to be some styling done on the CSS page. So on my style.css, you can see some things like I changed the background color to gray. I have put in a rule. Here is a rule set for an unordered list. And I'm kind of showing you this to review what rule sets look like. You can make one of your own. UL bracket, and I've got color gold, semicolon, font family sans serif, semicolon, font size 18, semicolon. And if you were to go to peek at my unordered list, you would see it is a sans serif font. It's size 18 and it is gold because I told it to be. On my H1 tags, here's my rule set. Let me get all of that selected. My rule set for my H1 tags, I said text align center, semicolon, font weight bold, semicolon, color gold. And if you look at my H1 tags, they are centered and they are gold and they are bold because I told them to be right here. One last thing. Your index.html page will automatically be connected to your style.css page because of this command right here, this link command. But when you create a new page, when you make your second page, it is not automatically connected to the style.css. So what you would have to do, if you want your second page, your desserts page, to be connected to your style.css, you would have to take this command, which is going to be in the head of the document. You'd have to take this command, the link command, copy it, get over to your new page, and paste it inside the head of the document so that your new page, your dessert page, is connected to your style.css page. If you don't copy and paste that link, your desserts page will not follow any of the rules that are on your design or on your style.css. So again, looking at these pages one last time, name of that's an H1, name of the restaurant, H3, entree list, a list with 10 items, a link to get to the other page. On the other page, the dessert page, same thing. name of the restaurant, dessert menu, H1 and H3, list, link to get back to the main page. Something has to be styled. There it is. That is final part 1, worth 50 points. You can email me if you have trouble or questions. Get in there and have at it.